Hello everyone, and welcome to part 2 of the duckling adventures. So this is once again at the lake behind our house, which is so wonderfully abundant with so much wildlife. And this is the female mallard that I happened to stumble upon a little while ago with her brand new ducklings. I did not see any of the ducks nesting, but there are definitely several pairs of mallards that usually stay at our lake about year round. And it wasn't very surprising to actually see the ducklings, but it was very exciting because this is the first time I have ever seen ducklings in the wild, especially just out feeding with their mother in the park. And the first time around, we were not able to get that close to these ducklings or their mom because she is very cautious about keeping moving, and she has a gigantic lake to be able to just swim right across if she needs to put a little bit of space between you and her babies. So getting this close to the ducklings and the mama duck, who as you can tell is pretty cautious about me, was really hard to do. And I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight into this specimen spotlight. Where was I? I was currently at this moment inside of a thorn bush. So I crawled off the path through the trees, definitely through several cobwebs, into a thorn bush, and then crouched down and stayed there for almost an hour, filming this beautiful little family and waiting until they were close enough that I could really get some great shots of them up close, feeding. You can see how the babies are moving through the water and they are dabbling. These are dabbling ducks. The mallards will go ahead and they'll stick their beak under the water. They're not like other species of aquatic bird or waterfowl that will actually go all the way diving completely into the water. They just kind of stick their heads down and the rumps up in the air, thus the dabbling look, and they're looking around for things to eat here on the water edge. It's very easy to feed your ducklings as a mama duck because all you have to do is guide them to the food. You don't have to produce the food for them the way that a female mammal might need to worry about. And there are so many adorable little babies here. So as you guys can see, this duck had 7 babies, and both times I've seen her so far, she still has 7 babies, which is very exciting because those little ducklings actually make really great food for everything from birds of prey to any roaming domestic cats or dogs that might be in the area, to the hawks, the owls, and the eagles that are also in the area, as well as snapping turtles that I have seen in this lake and may be lurking below the surface. But Mama Duck has done a great job guiding her babies over to the aquatic vegetation, the seeds. There's plenty of insect larvae over on this spot, lots of earthworms, snails. Those are the kinds of things that the ducks will usually eat. And I saw a lot of people walking by and they were all very excited to take pictures of the ducklings here at the park too. And I was very glad because this park has signs specifically stating to not feed the ducks. And that's very important because a lot of people will be well-meaning or they will want to have the really fun experience, and it is so much fun. So I understand that part of it, of wanting to interact with the wildlife by throwing out bread for the ducks. And that's actually one of the worst things you can do for these waterfowl because it can give them a condition called angel wing, where it causes their bones to deform, they're no longer able to fly, they're no longer able to take care of themselves, and it can often lead to death. So if you do happen to see the little wild ducks, as you can see, even though it doesn't look like this muddy spot of aquatic vegetation is very delicious to us, it is perfect for her and her little family, and they are finding plenty to eat. So it's really great to want to interact with the wildlife, but just step back, take some pictures, get some video. If you guys have little ducklings or goslings or whatever you have in your parks right now, then get some video of it, tweet it, take pictures, have fun with it, engage with the wildlife like that. But please don't feed these adorable little babies, even though they're so cute. Also, if you're wondering how does Mama Duck keep track of all her babies, that's through the soft little peeping noises that they're constantly making at one another. So if you listen very closely here in a second, you might hear very tiny chirps, and that's actually the babies letting their mom and each other know exactly where they're located, and that way she can make any honking noises and keep track of them in case she needs to let them know where she's at too. So listen carefully. Yeah, it's not the easiest thing to hear those little babies, but it is so preciously cute. And I loved watching them, you guys. They were very wonderful. They let me get very close. I held very still and tried to be respectful and not move too quickly. And it was quite amazing because right behind me is actually a highway. And we are at a major park. It is not like this is in the middle of nowhere. The mallard species in particular has adapted very well to urban environments like parks and golf courses. Most people probably wouldn't think this was a very exciting thing to see, but I absolutely love these experiences with wildlife. And there's something else I noticed while I was spending so much time with these adorable, beautiful ducklings, and that's how much trash and how much waste is in the lake. Even though this is a very, very popular park and there are cleanup attempts, you can tell there's just so much trash, and it really made my heart hurt to see these little babies have to crawl around styrofoam cups and around empty Ready Whip containers. And so a project that we are going to be having coming up in the future is actually going to be called Operation Duckling, and we are going to do another cleanup effort like we did on the vlog channel last year for the secret garden to clean up the lake. So keep your eyes out for that, you guys, because I totally want to get you involved, and we're definitely going to have some very special awards for those of you who want to go out there and try to make our world a better place by cleaning it up so that these little ducklings will be able to enjoy the world that they're in too.